shit.
Get your knee out of my face.
My sure has God, you stink.
Ow!
What was that?
Quit your belly aching, we're on!
Oh man, I'm way too short for this.
Based on the classic line of kids' toys, the Army Men games limited you to only one soldier. Now you can control a whole army of the little green buggers, cause this is Army Men RTS. This time developed by Pandemic, better known today for Mercenaries 2 and the upcoming Saboteur, they developed Army Men RTS so that people can finally be a real general of their own little green plastic army. The story stays true to the Army Men world, which is... but I'll just let this intro cutscene explain it to you.
I hear you've been having some trouble. No, this is a bad one, Sergeant. Worst I've seen.
Not long ago, we had this region secure under the supervision of one Colonel Blintz. That changed when Blintz was injured in the line of duty. Medics did what they could, but he sustained a massive, disfiguring head wound.
Disfiguring? He lost his mind.
And how? That was the last we saw or heard of him. Until this. No. I'm afraid so. He's gone tan.
And he took his soldiers with him. Those that didn't turn, melted down for scrap.
Your mission is to proceed through the white picket fence and track down the colonel. When you find him, eliminate all defenses and terminate the colonel.
All right, men. We got a job to do.
Yep, the 10 have taken over the house, and it's up to you to take it back. No one can lie to you that this is a super advanced game with lots of choices. This is a rather simple, fun, and original game. Well, okay, original in its concept, but it's still a fun game. You do get a variety of units, but by today's standards, the choices are rather basic, especially considering the fact that each fight's the same, since they both have the same units, but this way it also keeps the game quite balanced as well. The most creative unit in the game is probably the Dum Dum, which is a small toy robot that has a M80 strapped to it. But there's also the radio operator, which is the unit with special abilities like dropping good paratroopers, dropping bombs, and of course the infamous weapon that's a threat to any army man, the magnifying glass. The buildings are also pretty creatively designed, which is the HQ. It's made out of soda can. You can also choose what kind of drink it's made out as well. Well, you get 3 choices, but it's still a nice choice. And the resource depot, which is a giant blender. The buildings for units are more like factories that the units get molded in. The units, when killed, they leave behind them a small splatter on the ground, which can be reused to make new units. Thank God they don't realize they're made out of their fellow brothers in arms, huh? The game Bill! No! Damn you, sniper! Oh, hey there, Joe. Bill, but you're dead. No, I'm not. I just got molded back. Ah! The game has around 15 plus bonus mission. It's called Great Battles that you can unlock by getting gold medals. Gold medals are obtained by completing side objectives such as finishing mission under a certain amount of time or picking up all the bonuses. Now the missions are entertaining mostly because of their environments, which are really well designed, and you will really know where you are. If you're in the garden, you will know you're there. If you're in the living room, you will know you're there as well. Now, as soon as you look at the environments, you can tell that people who live there aren't exactly very clean or extremely lazy to clean up after themselves. But this works well for you because the resources you collect are plastic from various items, such as wannabe Barbies to robots, and electricity, which comes from stuff like walkie-talkies, remotes, and stuff like that. The missions are, for the most part, rather easy. It's also quite fun to fight the enemy ants, and luckily the game later on explains why the ants aren't attacking the tan as well. There's also a mission where you have to protect Lego, well, I'm assuming there's some sort of Lego, as they cross the map. There's also a map where you have to capture a PlayStation 2.
Baby, that sure is something.
Which acts as a renewable energy source for the tan. The game's single player is pretty fun, as well as its cutscenes. The Army Men games have never taken themselves seriously, which is a good thing. Even though they don't curse much, the one time they do, it's pretty funny.
We blow things up. It's our job. And if I've seen one thing in my day that needs some blowing up pronto, it is this. So, are you gonna get off your and do your jobs, or do you want to get back in that bucket? Now who's with me?
Sir, we are, sir!
That's more like it.
These cutscenes are rather amusing to watch, at least the first time around. As a very good example, during the camp tutorial, the narrator tells you not to push the J button for some reason.
Don't press the J key. It does nothing. Do not ever go near the J key.
The game's pathfinder is above all most annoying aspect of the game. As long as it's a small group of soldiers, they have no problem navigating around. But as soon as they become a larger group, they will constantly crash themselves onto other units, and it will be like a giant street. Surprisingly enough, there's a decent amount of people that still plays multiplayer, and since I already mentioned the fact that there's only one faction but with different colors, it makes the game fairly balanced, and it comes down to skill in the end. The only way to connect to these online games is by using Hamachi. There should be a couple of tutorials that will help show you how to play online games. I would also like to thank the Shadow Siphon Clan for helping me test out the multiplayer in Men RTS. The graphics aren't amazing, but they're still good, and the art style makes up for it. Whenever you destroy a building, it gives you a nice looking explosion. The game's soundtrack is best representation of the game's sound, and it's mostly military team band music, which fits to pretty much all the situations. I just have to mention this before I finish this review. Even though most sites that have cheats for the PC version say the special operations are not lockable, well, they're not. They're only available for the PS2 and GameCube version. I'm saying this since I don't want anyone to annoy themselves by searching for the special operations. Overall, what Men RTS does best is that it's simple and it's casual, and it's one of those gateway games that you can use to get into RTS games. It isn't hard to master, and it has a slow enough pace to give you time to prepare, but fast enough so that you learn basics like base construction, unit building, and expansion and running low on resources. Basically put, it's simple, it's fun, and most of all, it's a great introduction into RTS games. So if you want to consider playing RTS games, this is one of those that is fun to start with. Till next time.
Don't press the J key. It does nothing. Do not ever go near.
What you've just done can never be taken back.